You guys are all just so cute! It is only by having met many a puffin and many a seabird in person that I know that even though you guys are so cute, you're so stinky! Oh, because these guys eat fish, and I tell you what, friends, anything that has a mostly fish diet is going to be a very stinky animal indeed. But hello everyone and welcome back to a fresh start where we are currently working on rescuing some whales, floundering about a little bit with some puffins, and working on just chatting as we— oh, there's puffins up there on the ice too. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. It looks like something I would definitely want to build in zoo crafting, to be completely honest. But yes, so let's carry on with our little chattering adventurers friends. That one? Okay, I can't affect that one just yet. Because this has turned into a very relaxing series where we go ahead and we restore nature and we clean up the gigantic mountains of trash that are everywhere. I also answer some of your guys' questions because I love Q&As. I don't think most of you knew that about me, but I think a lot of you guys— oh man, I ran out of water. I wonder. I think a lot of you guys who have been around for a while know that I am a sucker for Q&As. And not because I'm like obsessed with people asking me questions, but because I'm so fascinated and so in love with learning more about people as a whole. So whenever people like do a Q&A video, I'm there. I'm there with popcorn. I'm sitting down and I am just like munching my popcorn and listening to whatever this person, whoever it is, any of the people I follow, or even random Q&A videos I stumble across, I will listen because I find it so amazing to learn more about the way that people live and the decisions they make and the hopes and dreams they have and the interesting experiences that they've had in the past. So yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for Q&As. There's your first insight into Seri behavior for the day. Also, before we get going, I wonder what we can do with our experience. 600 is a lot of points to be able to have a good experience. Maybe we should go ahead and finally get the bigger water tank. We could also do auto sprinklers. That would be really, really cool. And auto hoovers, which would be kind of cool. And we can also have a cleaner sense so that we'll be able to like find things we need to clean up. Let's actually do that because that's like not very expensive. And let's upgrade the water tank a couple times. And I think that should be interesting. All right, what if I— ooh! Oh, that's so cool. And then I could see that I need to water these plants. That's so cool. Oh, if only everything in life was able to be like that distinct. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I need to remove the nets. I need to remove the nets. I'm on it. Like we don't need these gosh darn nets around here. All right, trying to trap our whales, are they? Whales? Whales, oh my gosh. Trying to trap our whales, are they? I don't think so. All right, let me go ahead and take care. There we go. Yes, that's right. Huh! Where there was just some very desperate plants, we have now transformed a whole bunch of wonderful flowers. That makes me very happy. Also, do I have enough water? I did have enough water to take out that giant pile of trash. That felt amazing. Well, let's go back and remove the nets and carry on answering some of your guys' questions. And some of these questions today are from our patrons over in our Patreon Ask Your Q&A channel, because like I said, I love Q&As. But the first one is actually from a new patron, That One Sneaky Cat. Will we ever have a new series in Planet Zoo or Wolf Quest? Those are my favorites, and if so, when? And the answer is yes, absolutely. By now, That Sneaky Cat, you should have stumbled upon the new series in Planet Zoo focusing on the Twilight Pack. I mean, I haven't, like, as of this exact moment, I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. I haven't started recording it yet, but I plan to later today because I'm sort of scared that there's not going to be baby flying fruit bats, and that's gonna break my heart a little, but there will be fox cubs, so maybe that'll balance it out. But Planet Zoo and Wolf Quest are series that I usually try to keep always running, and when they do disappear, it's usually— I wonder, can I see— ooh, if I do that, I can see any of the plants I missed on my way back. And if they are like missing for a little while, they're usually on my radar to have return. WolfQuest has been kind of an exception because, guys, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes of WolfQuest. I am so happy you guys love our adventures, and I am so happy when I am in the good groove to deliver them. I just sometimes I need a bit of a break. Not because I don't love it, but because I want to make sure that when I'm there I am loving it. So WolfQuest is kind of tricky because I can't really give you, oh, the little flowers. They're trying to live under all this trash. I don't think so. Basically, my goal for WolfQuest is at the very least to jump in every time there's been like a significant, huge update. And I really find it satisfying to be able to create some WolfQuest adventures, usually in the autumn season, which we are in right now, and also weirdly enough, like the end of spring, early summer. After 10 years of doing this, I have stopped questioning why I get random urges to go ahead and like record certain series at different times of year. Why I love recording medieval series in the winter for like January, February sort of time, I have no idea. I have no idea, but I'm not gonna question it. It means that things work, and I at least managed to go ahead and create some of those adventures, so I don't question it too much. But with Planet Zoo in particular, because it is such an amazing and wonderful vehicle for education, I do hope to always have some sort of Planet Zoo series going at least a couple times a week. And if it's missing, either there are some current new series that I'm just kind of gotten obsessed with and I'm currently focusing on. I might have a special themed event that I'm entertaining myself with, even if the theme may not be obvious to you guys. Like, for example, for some reason, I just get really, really, really into medieval stuff during like January and February. I have no idea why. No idea. Maybe I like to imagine I'm some sort of like queen of the frozen tundra as winter like bears its terrifying grasp upon the world. But with Planet Zoo, because there are so many different animals and there are so many different species, there are so many different biomes, there's always going to be room to fit it in with most of the themes that I take on. Like right now, I'm thinking about how much fun it would be, even if I go like full freaking medieval in like January and February, because I'm just like, I don't know why, I'm just in the mood. I could also see having plenty of Planet Zoo episodes because we could do our modded zoo where we were building a fairy tale sort of section, and or even just starting an entire fairy tale forest zoo, like a fresh new one, where our goal was to have just like a beautiful little village that we could build with a whole bunch of like fairy tale animals roaming around. I mean, we could make a stable that we could keep the Przewalski's horses at. Hello, little Puffin! And we could go ahead and we could like have a bunch of the badgers living behind a house where there's like a bunch of mushrooms. We could name all of the keepers and everything like villager so-and-so or druid so-and-so. I think that would be really fun. So Planet Zoo has enough animals in it, enough ways that you can design the world, enough amazing builds on. Oh, we just found Arctic foxes. What the ever loving heck? Oh my gosh. Like they've even got Arctic foxes in Planet Zoo, so there's enough of a variety there that we could definitely see ourselves always being able to fit it in somewhere. If it's missing, I'm probably just overworked at the moment, or I'm distracted with something else, or distracted with something in life. But always feel free to like just say, oh, I really love such and such a series, because like that, especially like in our Patreon chat, it's like the ultimate power like motivator that will make me be like, oh, I'm so happy you love it. I'm gonna go ahead and make more of it too. Like, I'm so happy when people say they love WolfQuest versus like, where is WolfQuest? Because it makes me so happy that my silly rambling was able to make someone happy, that I'm vastly more likely to go ahead and record some of it. Also, we can finally get this toxic junk out of here. Get away from my whales! Alright. So all of that said, you do have some more fun questions for us. What's my favorite animal fact? And that's kind of like answering what's my favorite animal. It's kind of whatever cool fact. Yes, we cleaned up the acid spill. Very bad thing to spill acid, I think. But my favorite animal fact is often just the newest animal fact I've learned. Because I'm just so fascinated by like every animal species out there. Like right now, I'm thinking about the fact that I learned while making end slates for zoo crafting that Victoria crowned pigeons, which are the largest pigeon species still living in the world, and in my opinion, one of the most amazing because they're these giant blue pigeons. Oh man, those of you guys who've been around for a while know when I got to actually pet one of them during a behind the scenes tour in San Diego, and that still is one of the absolute highlights of my life. I don't think, other than when Chips proposed to me, I don't think I have ever grinned so much like a happy fool than then. But Victoria Crown pigeons, I learned just yesterday, actually make their nest, and most pigeons and doves don't bother with the nest, by the way. They just kind of get some sticks, they throw them on the ground, and they're like, eh, good enough. But Victoria Crown pigeons actually build a nest. Both the male and female will work on this, and they build their nest 50 feet up at times in the rainforest trees of the rainforest that they live around in New Guinea. 50 feet! These birds spend most of their life just meandering around on the ground going peck, 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 and in little family groups eating fallen fruit. So they don't really fly very much at all. They might roost kind of like a turkey up somewhere high at night, but they don't really fly. However, they will put that inclination to just kind of like meander on the ground aside for the sake of their egg, and they'll build a nest, a pretty good nest, like not just a couple sticks on a branch the way a lot of dove species and pigeon species do it, for their single egg that they will lay. And then they will raise that baby chick together. They also produce milk for their baby. Yes, they're birds, but they have a special crop milk, it's called, where the crop, which is like the throat pouch that birds have, can actually go ahead and like produce from the food that the doves eat a special kind of milk that they will regurgitate and feed their baby. And male and female will both take good care of their babies this way, or their baby, because there's only ever one egg. And there's only ever one egg because even though they build a big, sturdy, beautiful nest, these birds get huge. They're like almost the size of a turkey. Not quite that big, but like compared to what you might have in your head as like a pigeon, like you need to go a lot bigger than that. Like make a pigeon and a turkey kind of smushed together, then make it blue and give it a beautiful crown. That's the Victoria Crown pigeon. So I was just tickled by that because I had no idea that they actually bothered building nests, and it made me really happy to learn. But that, I mean, anytime you ask me what my favorite animal fact is, I'm gonna have a new answer because I just love learning more about the world as it is. Alright, so all of those things were from that one sneaky cat, and once again I ended up like rambling for a very, very long time. Oh my gosh, there's more! There's more Arctic foxes over here! Oh my goodness. So now let's go ahead and see Ginger Fury. So Ginger Fury, what does your birding life list look like if you keep one? Mine is on 62, but I just started a few months ago. And I actually don't have a bird like list. For those of you guys who don't know, I love birds, if my meandering and talking about the Victoria Crown pigeon didn't give it away. And a lot of people who are into birding will actually have a lifer list where they list all of the birds they've ever seen. And I don't have a life list purely for the reason that I get too excited and forget to keep track of the birds I see. That's literally why I don't have a lifer list. I have birds I would love to see, like the noble bush turkey in Australia. And I know that the Australians here are going to be laughing really hard that I'm excited to see a bush turkey, but I am. I have like a list in my head of birds I would love, love, love to see, especially ones in Australia and New Zealand. But I haven't kept like an actual like written down list of birds I've seen. But I should probably organize pictures of all, or like the pictures of all of the birds I've taken pictures of, just so that I like had a record. Because I think if I was gonna make a bird list, for me it wouldn't count unless I had a picture of it. Just because that would give myself like a little extra challenge, and also it would give myself a little bit of validation of like, oh yeah, I did see it. Because otherwise I'm gonna forget, even though I was really excited. But I don't know, like, do you guys keep lists of those kinds of things? I think I'm just always so happy and excited to see the bird. I forget to do anything other than put it in my joy journal. I bet if you went back through my joy journal, it would tell you plenty of times that I've seen different species. And then, let's see. So, other question that Ginger Fury asked is favorite places traveled and why? Definitely the Appalachian Mountain Range comes to mind as like a heart place of mine. Like a place my heart really belongs to. And in fact, we're gonna go ahead and do a little nature restoration. Oh, look at these guys! That's right. This place was a dump. It was a real dump, and we're transforming it, and I'm proud of us. Also, we have a lot of skill points. All right, let me go ahead. We're gonna do power stream, and then I guess I could do cleaner senses. I don't really need the expansion on the pack right now. So power hoover? I already got that one. All right, we'll save some points. But favorite place I've traveled, the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina will always have a very, 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 very special place in my heart, because I grew up in Texas and Missouri, in the middle of the nation where everything is very flat. And I had gone to Utah and I had seen the mountains in Utah, but the time of year I went, they were really kind of barren, and you didn't really see. Can I take this fence all away? No, I cannot. And so you didn't really see a lot when it came to greenery. So then I ended up having to move to North Carolina suddenly. And on the drive there, we drove through the mountains, and I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. And I was stunned enough that when I met Chips on OkCupid and found out that he lived up there in the beautiful Appalachian Mountains on the Blue Ridge, I was excited to go ahead and make the extra like 2-hour drive from where we lived in North Carolina up to the mountains just to see him again. And boy, was that worth it. The first time I went to go and hang out with Chips up at his place and go on a date with him there, I drove 2 hours like away from where I lived, and I got to go past waterfalls cascading down mountains that were just covered head to toe in greenery and stretched as far as you could see off the highway. It was so beautiful. There were ferns everywhere, moss-covered boulders. It was so beautiful, and our first date was actually on a beautiful trail that to this day is still one of our favorite trails to walk together in the whole world. And it was just so pretty. I love greenery. I love greenery. I love being surrounded by green. And the Blue Ridge Mountains are actually one of only 2 temperate rainforests in the entire United States, where it rains all the time and it's covered in ferns, it's covered in moss. I love being there. Also, I need to get more water before we do whatever we're doing up here. So for me, I love having traveled there because it ended up being the setting that I met the love of my life, and the setting where I became Seri. And so for me, the Blue Ridge Mountains were not only a fun place to visit, they weren't only beautiful, but they were the staging grounds for some of the best transformations I've ever had in my life. And so they will always be important and beautiful to me as a result. But other places we've traveled that I have really loved, I really did enjoy being in London quite a bit. That was a lot of fun. Yay, I got to fix that. That was a lot of fun, especially because we spent most of our time at the British Museum. And for those of you guys who don't know, my husband Chips is a professor of history, and he is so much fun to go to museums with. because he will tell you so many cool facts about the stuff that you're looking at that nothing else like tells you about how important the things you're looking at are, like on the signs or like what you can just pull up on a Wikipedia page or whatever. And going to like museums with my beloved husband, it's just so cool because it transforms like everything. It really transforms everything into into stuff you want to know. And so I loved London for that because it's his favorite museum in the world, and there was just so much to talk about, especially with the Syrian exhibit, that I was 100% happy just to spend day after day after day listening to him. But I've also really loved visiting Taiwan. When we went to Taiwan for some of his research and his studies, that was amazing. And I don't speak any Chinese at all. I just know a little bit of Japanese and English. But my beloved husband actually, he speaks Chinese fluently. So he was able to take us to Taiwan for his studies, and it was such a cool experience to be at that time, that was before we went to London. It was just such a cool experience to be in a foreign country for the first time that was very, very different from my own, like, anywhere I'd lived, and to just see how I'll never forget how I was so nervous. I was like, oh, am I going to get all the social cues right? Am I going to like mess up? And the first day there, everyone was so kind and friendly, and even if I didn't speak whatever like language they did, I realized it didn't matter, because all that really mattered was just being nice. And look at there we go, the whales are free! Yay! Be free, friends, be free! And I learned then and there that a smile goes a very long way. So again, not only was it fun to be in Taiwan, not only was it so beautiful in its own way, not only was it such a rich personal growing experience for me, but yeah, it was a place, actually that's one of the reasons I love it, because it was a place where it was such a amazing learning and growing experience for me. Gosh, but other than that, like, yeah, anywhere where there's a lot of greenery, anywhere where there's a lot of birds, Chips and I probably will love traveling there. Ergo, one of these days I need to get myself over to Australia. Alright, let's go ahead. Look at all of our little puffins! Oh yeah, and actually going to Iceland was really awesome because I got to see puffins, but that fulfills the criteria that I just said. Greenery and birds! And you've got a very happy Seri. But alright guys, thank you so much for joining me on this silly ramble. We have transformed this so much. I am so proud of us. It is so beautiful. And apparently it still needs a little bit of TLC. So if you guys have any more questions, or if you guys just want to, like, I don't know, chit chat, ask me about things, then do please leave some comments down below. Oh, look at how everything's starting to look nice and healthy. I'm so proud of us. But most importantly, I hope you guys can just be patient with yourself as you grow and you experience life and you explore and you kind of just find out where you're going. Like the things I've told you guys about, like all of the growth I experienced when I was like in the mountains, or when I went to Taiwan, or how fun it is to be in London. I didn't know any of those things were gonna happen when I went to those places. I knew we were going to go to the British Museum, I will admit that. But all of the best things about my life and the adventures that I have gone on come more from just being aware of the moment. Oh, there's so many puffins here now. And they have come more from being able just to kind of slow down and to just do my best. And to just be willing to try out new experiences. And not all of them have paid off. There are definitely places I have been that I would never travel again, that I won't name so they don't offend anybody. But I mean, if I had said no to going to North Carolina, I would have never met Chips. I would have never become Seri. And maybe I would end up having had an amazing, wonderful life anyway, but I don't know. I guess just the idea of favorite places traveled is maybe sometimes, if you have the opportunity, don't always just stick to your favorite spot. Go ahead and give yourself something new, because you don't know exactly what you might find. And maybe who you end up becoming from having been there is, there we go, is somebody that you really, really, really actually wanted to be. Alright, let's go ahead and fix this up. And, darn, okay, we still need to do just a little bit more. Huh. Well, I already gave my very happy speech. However, let's turn this on. There we go. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments or whatever, just leave them there. But I hope you're able to take on whatever huge project, no matter how messy it looked, like this place, and you're able to take it on and transform it one step at a time as well. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!